Hello YouTube, this is Nite Misfortune bringing you yet another video of the Supreme Commander 2 game. Of course, a game very well known to us all. We are back with the league. This is League Season 2. Season 2 means new players. We have a new map pool. As you can see here, this is QAI Labs map that we have not seen before very much other than maybe in a tournament. And because of that, I'm not really going to be going over maps as I would normally, at least for the first couple of rounds, because I want the statistics to kind of even out, and it won't even mean much before then anyway, so it's not really that interesting to look at. However, this is, as I said, a league game. I believe this is round 1. However, I might be wrong. I always forget to check that. We have two great players here today. I had so many games submitted these last week. And another thing, I do apologize for bringing this video a little bit late. I've just been such a crazy week for me because of the coronavirus, and there's just a lot of stuff going on, so forgive me for making this on a Wednesday, but nevertheless we are here. So many games to go through. All of them were good games, but this game just stood out above all else for me. So let's go ahead and jump into the game. I'm gonna put my speed up to 2, and let's go and play in 3, 2, 1, go. And let's introduce our players. So on the left-hand side, playing as our white Aeon commander, we have somebody that we have not seen too much before, only in the, I guess, the Serpents Open Winter. Foxtermelon, who is also known as Chaos Fox. Now he has played in that Serpents Open Winter. Of course, he's starting off with 1 air. He has roughly a very good win percentage so far, 72-73% here. And let's see how he can fare in this match against his opponent in the right, who is our yellow UEF commander. We have a SoulRipper, who we also know from the Serpents Open Spring Tournament, which is also the, the 10-year anniversary tournament. So he did fairly well in that one. His win percentage is quite a bit lower, 40%, but with those tournament performances, it's always a crapshoot, and it's always, it depends on the format of the tournament a lot of times, and unless you're the winner, you're just not gonna have a great win percentage. So these don't really speak too much. So we see both players opening up in air. Of course, SoulRipper decided to go with a bomber opening. Now, I'm not quite sure if a bomber opening is the best choice on this map. Of course, when you're in doubt, I think it depends on the player. If you want to be safe, you always want to open up with the Wasp. If you are wanting to, if you're suspecting land, of course you want to open up with a bomber. I think that's what SoulRipper was expecting there, but on this map I think air is more likely, so I would personally open up with a Wasp. That's just me. But we see some bombers coming in, and this it might play a role here, because right now Foxtermelon is out spamming air, although SoulRipper is managing to get a pretty good engagement. Although I don't know why he pulls out his air right here. He might have wanted to wait for an anti-air tower on one of his factories, but as a result, it's just barely coming out here. He loses all of his air, and Foxtermelon does not lose a single plane. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the power of a good air engagement. A lot of times people tell me, oh, how the heck do you micro air? Can you even control air? It's so difficult to control. Well, yes, you can. You can do a lot with air, and actually a lot of your success will depend on how well you can micromanage it. And in part, this was a great series of games, but in part I picked this because of how great Foxtermelon just moves his air in this game. Not just micro, but just how well he's moving his air. There's not a second here, or well, maybe there's a second, but there isn't a prolonged period of time where this air is just sitting and doing nothing. So many times I see players start pooling their air for no apparent reason when they have a clear air advantage, and they could be bombing this stuff like that. Even if you can't take it out on one pass, you can put it down to low health, and if you happen to come back to it, it will already be there ready for you to take out. out, and he just does 2 passes there, does a wonderful job, and picks off a mass extractor. Not only does that give you research points, of course, but it also prevents your opponent from getting that higher veterancy and ultimately more mass, of course. Now we do see here SoulRipper is getting some P shields that could be a little difficult for our AN player to handle. And but we do see charges coming out for Foxtermelon, so that will make it a little easier, of course, on this economy. And this kind of start with 1 air factory, it's going to be a little harder for for SoulRipper to come up with that deadly, composition with P shields. You really do need some more mobile missile launchers in here. And again, Foxtermelon just doing a miraculous job here, just focusing down these mass extractors. Nice control K there from SoulRipper, doing anything he can to prevent his opponent from getting research points. You could have held on to that just a little longer, but that's fine either way. And this is where those MMLs are quite a bit useful. Now there's a crap ton of Shajas here. That is so curious how he decided to go all Shajas here, but of course that's just very powerful. If your opponent is very indecisive, looks like he wanted to do a bombing run here, but didn't manage to quite do so. And those Shajas are doing work. Honestly, a lot of tanks for SoulRipper have gone down. SoulRipper is very much in the yellow now here. And he's actually getting focused down. You do not want to charge like this as an ACU against Shajas, and of course SoulRipper does go down here in game 1 against Foxtermelon and QAI Labs, and we will see what happens in game 2. But it was a nice and quick game, and I think it highlights how how important air control is on maps like this, and how exactly you should be moving your air. So we will be back with game 2. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to game 2 between SoulRipper and Foxtermelon. This one is, of course, on Iskellian Coast, a map that is fairly familiar to us from multiple things. I just wasn't played enough, and I'm hoping that this time around it's a little bit more, because I do see a whole lot of potential in this map. And a whole point of these map pools and seeing what people pick and what faction is strong somewhere is so that we can get to that invitational tournament and we can have the most balanced map pool we can possibly have. This is something that I wanted to implement for the season, and I think it's just no better place to implement this thing. So like I said, game 2, SoulRipper lost out on the last match by very, very good play by Foxtermelon with Shajas and air, of course. So let's go ahead and jump into the game. I'm paused at 5 seconds. Game speed 2, starting in 3, 2, 1, play. And let's introduce our players again on the left, but this time on the bottom left, we have our white Aeon commander, Foxtermelon. I think he does definitely prefer to play Aeon. I believe he picked both of that here, and he definitely played Aeon in a tournament. He's starting out with a similar build, 1 air factory, and also not a bad build on this map. His opponent, of course, we have SoulRipper. He is starting out with 3 land factories. He's our yellow Cybran commander. Let's see if SoulRipper's 3-fac rush will help him get a quick victory on this map to level the series 1-1, which is not bad, in this point, because that's still a point that will get you for the tie. Definitely useful. So a little bit of a quirky start, I think. I think usually players start trying to expand a little bit off this 3-fac rush, but nothing wrong with trying to commit here. Unfortunately, Foxtermelon does scout this and start to bombard these loyalists here, and there's really nothing on the field for SoulRipper. And this is where really the 3-fac rush kind of start to see some issues with it, because you can't really transition into anything. Of course, the Cybran, it's a little easier to transition into adapters, but you just don't have the mass to build anti-air towers. You don't have mass to build point defenses. So unless your opponent is also going a 3-fac rush, it's so difficult to you know, justify it. Here we do see SoulRipper doing a great job bringing his ACU, but the bulk of his main force is up ahead, and by the time the ACU gets here, it's going to be a little late. There's nothing for it to cover, essentially. And as a result, SoulRipper does not manage to take out a single mass extractor or a single tank, I believe. Yeah, this is a loyalist carcass here. But he does manage to get his ACU into a really good position here. He's actually starting to reclaim, and those loyalists at the top are going to manage to take out that energy generator. And Fox really needs to, even bringing an engineer here, that is actually pretty good for him here. He does have the loyalist advantage, and Fox is doing a very good job bombing everything here. He's concentrating on the ACU. So this will be very interesting because SoulRipper's ACU is quite a bit low. These planes are going to help to bring it down to 0. SoulRipper is in red, but there's just so many loyalists here. Foxtermelon already in half health. Foxtermelon, oh, falling into red here also, and SoulRipper goes off, and oh my goodness, Foxtermelon also falls in the nuclear blast here. So we have a tie for our game 2, which means Foxtermelon wins this match 1-0 and gets that delicious 3 points. And you just see the power, the importance of staying in the game and trying to at least get a tie out in this league. So that is definitely a very nice quick game, and I think I mean, you make your own determination about the use of a 3-fac rush on maps like this, but I think it's just not quite as powerful, especially when your ACU is behind, and especially when you can't respond to air. You just really have to have that contingency plan. So really, maps like this, air openings are very popular, so it just depends. I mean, you can make it work, especially if he managed to get like adapters out on the field. I think it would have been very good for him, and he probably would have won this easily. But because he didn't have any kind of air coverage, and Foxtermelon just controlled his air again so beautifully, his movement with air is again a highlight of these 2 replays. I think he did a very good job. So if we look at our league table, not a whole lot of you know, to highlight here. We do see Vanity up at the top, and other familiar faces from League 1, but you know, it's still very early. Not all matches even in round 1 have been played, so you know, we will see where it goes. We have again such a great mix of players, you know, Hope, Vanity, Fortuna, we have SoulRipper, Fox, we have Moggenra. There's so many different players, so many great players, and I just can't wait to see where this goes. I guess the one person that's missing is Alpha, of course. We're going to miss him for this season, but definitely a lot of great players, and I'm thankful for all of them for signing up. If you're interested in an SCS event, of course, please stay on the lookout. We're going to have a tournament in the summer. We're also considering a 2v2 tournament. If you want the 2v2 tournament to happen, let me know in the comments down below. If, you know, people encourage me to do something, I will do my best to do so for this community. So yeah, let me know, message me, leave a comment down below. I will make it happen for you guys sooner than the 1v1 tournament. So I wanted to bring up a new screen that I wanted to use here. Also, I think it would be useful for you guys. It's an interesting thing to take a look at. So the results for the past 2 weeks, we have not very many, I guess, surprises. I think the most surprising result here would be the 1-1 between Valor and Fortuna. I think Valor did a very good job there to sneak a win off of Fortuna. Of course, we see Vanity taking 2-0 leads over Blue Train and JP Smith. We see Hope beating out Rainbows, and we see a tie between Hope and SoulRipper. So very close so far. I can't wait to see again where this goes. We have many great matches coming up, and I hope you guys stay with me. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers, and hopefully by the end of May I'm gonna get there, maybe even by the end of April. If you guys can make that happen, we'll do something special. I don't know what, but we'll do something, a giveaway or, you know, something. Maybe a special video. I don't know yet. But yeah, let me know down in the description below what you thought about this video. Like and subscribe as always. Really appreciate you guys for watching this video, and stay tuned for more. I will be bringing you another replay of the week later this week. So again, apologies for this one being a little late. And yeah, I will see you next time. Take care, YouTube.